You are weak, Astrotrain, weak and knave. Knave to think there is justice in this life, but there's no justice here, only strength. And I am the definition of strength. You were pathetic then. You're pathetic now, a stain on what it means to be a Decepticon. Please let it end. Just kill me now. Not yet. I still have use for you. Megatron gives Astrotrain a beatdown. What's next for Optimus Prime? The Autobots revive a group of allies who could change the tide of their war with the Decepticons, but they don't know who or what is coming for them. This issue features key first appearance of fan favorite characters from the worlds of Transformers and G.I. Joe, presented by Skybound Entertainment distributed Image Comics, Transformers, Volume 4, Issue 20, Energon Universe. In the ruins of Seattle, now reunited with the Decepticons, Megatron prepares to pursue the fleeing Autobots. However, he is interrupted by a challenge from Astrotrain as the furious triple changer finally confronts the object of his hatred. Astrotrain says, "It's time to finally pay for all you have done to me." Megatron responds, "Oh, Astrotrain," and welcomes the challenges even in his injured state. Astrotrain then transforms into his train mode and smashes into Megatron. Astrotrain has been on the warpath for Megatron ever since freed from the brig of the Nemesis back in issue 8. Soundwave wants to come to the aid of Megatron, but Megatron stops him, saying, "No, Soundwave, he has challenged me. Finally, he has every right, especially after so many years." Megatron then takes out his spike ball and chain, called the Energon Mace. But before he can use it, Astrotrain delivers a powerful roundhouse kick. As Megatron gets back up, he says, "Is that the best you have?" Astrotrain responds, "You killed my love. You locked me away in the Nemesis with just enough energon to last a millennium. Your existence has only made me suffer." Now it's Megatron's turn as he knees Astrotrain right in the face with a single brutal strike that drops him instantly. Megatron sneers, "You are weak, Astrotrain, weak and knave." He grabs the Energon mace and begins beating him savagely over and over again, then wrapping the chain around Astrotrain's neck. Megatron growls, "Knave to think there is justice in this life. There is no justice here, only strength." With that, he hurls Astrotrain off the building, mocking him all the way down. Megatron continues, "I am the definition of strength. You were pathetic then, and you're pathetic now, a stain on what it means to be a Decepticon." As Astrotrain lies barely moving, Megatron places his foot on top of his head. Gasping, Astrotrain pleads, "Please let it end. Just kill me now." Megatron responds coldly, "Not yet. I still have use for you." Elsewhere, Ultra Magnus has been taken to a secret United States military site, most likely run by G.I. Joe. Given the presence of Doc, he is being held there to be studied through progress is slow as the science is barely understand what they're dealing with. While observing Ultra Magnus, Doc speaks with a private who mentions that he hasn't heard from his brother who was serving aboard the USS Henry Harrison. He asks Doc if he'll pray for him, but Doc simply replies, "I don't do that anymore. That part of me is long gone." The private concern reveals that he is unaware of the destruction of the aircraft carrier by the Decepticons in issue 8. This issue marks the introduction of G.I. Joe medic Carl Doc Greer to the Energon Universe. In addition to being trained medical doctor, Doc's original file card listed his secondary military specialty as chaplain's assistant. At the Ark, Spike meets with Optimus Prime. Spike wants to go after Carly, but Optimus is concerned their forces are spread too thin, and he knows that Megatron will come for them as soon as he reunites the scattered Decepticon factions. Spike asks Optimus more about the matrix of leadership, wondering if his dad might still be in there somewhere. Prime explains that the Matrix is not a tool for communication. The spirit of Primes resides within it, giving them power and lighting their darkest moments, but he never hears their voices. Spike responds quietly, "I figured," and lowers his head in a moment of sorrow. "But I was still hoping." Optimus gently replies, "I know, Spike. I know, I'm sorry." Spike looks up and says, "What do you have to be sorry for?" Optimus Prime says the Decepticons are stronger than ever and are using this beautiful place as their fuel. What I have done, he wonders. In the face of it, I'm suddenly prone to anger and destruction the way I used to be. I'm still ashamed of what I did so many years ago. Has this war gone on so long that I'm destined to repeat myself? He looks down. There's a darkness inside me, Spike. I can't quite tell what it is. No matter how dire our cause has gotten, I've always been able to find the light. Where is it now? Spike responds gently. Optimus, look, I know there's no organic life on your planet, but there are suns all over the galaxy, aren't there? Cybertron must have a sunset, just like Earth. And if there's a sun, then there's got to be a sunrise at some point. Spike reassures him that the light always comes back, just like a sunrise. Though it wasn't immediately clear when we last saw him in issue 18, Spike appearances here confirms that he's more or less fully recovered from being shot back in issue 3, as he now is able to walk without assistance. We've had winks and nods to it before, but this issue is the first truly explore the ideas of the primes that came before Optimus. He doesn't go into much detail, only acknowledging the presence of their spirits within the Matrix. So the full lineage of the primes in the Energon universe remains a mystery. Although Optimus says he doesn't hear the voices of the primes within the Matrix, Sparky's entry into it has clearly had an effect. Since issue 8, Optimus has been experiencing visions of Sparky's light. He also confesses that he's struggling to find the light, mirroring Sparky's own admission in issue 4. The connection between them continues to grow stronger. The pair's bonding moment is interrupted by the arrival of Beachcomber and the newly repaired Silverbolt, who has just returned from the mission to recover Jetfire. Optimus thanks Silverbolt and warmly welcomes him into the Ark. Jetfire was believed lost after being blasted by the space bridge's energy in issue 9. In the Ark, the rest of the aerial bots are finally finished being repaired. Their arrival has been long awaited, as Daniel Warren Johnson frequently teased their upcoming debut in the letters pages of earlier issues. Optimus Prime explains that the aerial bots were created long ago to help match the Decepticons' aerial power, just as in Marvel Comics continuity, where they were introduced as a direct counter to Decepticons' dominance in the skies. He introduces the team: Air Raid, Firefly, Skydive, and Slingshot. Optimus continues saying, I had them built for war, but they had the softest sparks of all the Autobots. The aerial bots are the first Autobot combiner team. They transform into Earth-style aircraft and combine to form the mighty Superion. Their mortal enemies are the Stunticons, Silverbot, Concord, SST, the aerophobic leader and grounding force of the team, Air Raid, McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle, an impulsive, fearless, close-quarters fighter. Fire Flight, also known as Fire Strike or Firefly, McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II, a daydreamer and a dangerously absent-minded flyer. Skydive, General Dynamics F-16A Fighting Falcon, a quiet but brilliant strategist and military history expert. Slingshot, also known as Quickslinger, British Aerospace Sea Harrier, a loud, insecure bot with VTOL capabilities. Optimus Prime greets them warmly. Hello, my friends. And the aerial bots smile and happy to see him again. They ask, what's wrong? Optimus, with a heavy tone, says, my heart is heavy, Firefly. I've used the last bit of our harvested energon to bring you all back, to help fend off what's coming. The aerial bots excitedly embrace Optimus Prime, overjoyed to be reunited. Optimus smiles and says, I'm glad to have you all back. Wheeljack then steps in and informs Optimus that he set up a diagnostic table to examine the visions Prime has been experiencing. Meanwhile, Thundercracker silently observes the interaction from behind Teletron 1. On Cybertron, Shredhead speaks with Cliffjumper, who expresses his concern for Carly. Cliffjumper asks if Shredhead recognizes him, and though their memories are hazy, Shredhead replies that they feel a connection through the sparks that created them. When Cliffjumper shares his worries about the human who painted the mural on the side of Shredhead's alternate mode, Shredhead eagerly transforms and suggests they go rescue her together. Meanwhile, the Decepticons have regrouped on the fragment of Cybertron that crashed into the Pacific Ocean. Megatron explains that this specific part of the world once housed the beacon of the Ancient, and that he had hidden raw materials there during the war. The Ancient, revealed in flashbacks from issue 13 to be a Mega Supreme, was also briefly hinted at earlier through the appearance of a Guardian robot in recording from Megatron, Cobra Commander issue #1. Megatron orders Starscream to be brought before him. Off-panel, Starscream's torso has been separated from the his tank it was grafted to in issue Transformers 14. Starscream says, Megatron, my beautiful leader, how wonderful it is that you are back in our rightful position and use the available technology to fully restore the damaged Seeker. Megatron tells Starscream, there is no need to embarrass yourself like this. It's going to be all right. Don't be afraid. Starscream is brought back to new. Starscream says, I'm brand new. Megatron, my glorious savior, thank you. My master, thank you. Never again will I turn on you. Never again, Megatron. Megatron replies, I'm so glad you're feeling better. Megatron proceeds to beat him once more, leaving him barely alive. Megatron kicks Starscream, slaps him, slams him, and continues to pummel him relentlessly. Megatron is not done yet. He takes his fist and keeps hitting Starscream, striking him repeatedly with blows that causes blue energon splattered all over the place. He then orders Astrotrain to be brought in and transforms into his gun mode. Megatron says, I wanted you to be part of our new revolution on this beautiful planet, Astrotrain, but it's clear you are unable to join our cause due to personal reasons. But worry not, I have found a good use for you. Megatron transforms into gun mode, carried by Ravage. We first saw Megatron's gun mode and his ability to impose his will on those who wield them in issue 13 and 14. Just last issue, we learned these abilities were granted to Megatron by Dark counterpart to the Matrix, bestowed upon him by a group of quintessentials. Megatron says to Starscream, target practice. As he drops into Starscream's hand, Starscream replies, no, I'm not taking orders from you. Megatron responds, it's been many years since you've held me in your grasp, Starscream. Do not forget the power I wield over you. Megatron says, you exist solely to execute my will. As Starscream turns his hand to Astrotrain, though Starscream tries to resist, Megatron's will overpowers him. Megatron commands, do it, Starscream, and Starscream blasts Astrotrain to smithereens. This task requires Starscream to unload shot after shot, as Megatron's incomplete state means his gun mode lacks its usual firepower. Over and over again, Starscream shoots Astrotrain. Astrotrain is done. After transforming back into robot mode, Megatron tells the Autobots to prepare themselves because he is coming to make himself whole again. Next, presented by Skybound Entertainment, distributed by Image Comics, Transformers Volume 4, Issue 21, Energon Universe.